Hello, let's start today with higher order component. This is my first YouTube teaching video. So before we start, higher order component and React. And I want to tell you that what is higher order functions. It's the same. Okay, what we want to learn that is the same like higher order functions. So let's say. What is higher order functions? The functions which takes function as an argument and returns a function. Okay. So let's say we have function a b c. Okay. Let's say we have function a b c and which takes a function and returns a function with some additional we can say additional more function, more values added to that function, we can say. Okay, for what, let's say first what we want to achieve. So here's the React app which I have already created. We want to build a counter which increments on over and decrements on over, and one counter with on click it will increment, on click it will decrement. Okay, before this we'll implement the same functionality with the higher order functions, but not visual representation, but we'll build one. Okay, go to the VS Code. Where is VS Code? mm, Here. Okay, this is, I have created one create React app for building higher order component, which we'll see later. First I want to show you this. Okay, here we will start that one file. Higher order dot.js. Okay, first what we do, we'll create a function which takes function as argument and returns a function which will return counter object. Okay, let's build function higher order. Okay, this will take count function, and what we need to have count as 0. We need one uh, increment function which will increment this one with one decrement. Okay, and this will return a function, and within that we will create a count. This is constructor function for us. We'll return that count, which where we pass the count, increment, comma, decrement. Okay, now let's create constructor function, this count. This can be achieved with this only the constructor function, but what if in the what we need counter in different modules, so we can this logic will be sits in the one file, and we can achieve this by exporting. Okay, but for now I'll implementing in one file only. Okay, count, let's say increment and decrement. Okay, this will have this dot count equals to count, this dot increment equals to, sorry, increment equals to increment, this dot decrement equals to decrement. Okay, I think we are good. Then we will call this function const counter obj build counter, let's say. Readable name build counter, let's say calling higher order, passing this count, and this will like const counter 1 equals to build counter. We'll call this will call this method. Okay, it's remaining minus minus, let's remove this plus plus. Okay, now counter 1 build counter, this will call this will return this function. We are invoking this function, this will create return a object of count. Okay, let's test it. This const, no sorry, counter 1 dot inc. Okay, let's increment 2 times, and then we'll console.log counter 1 dot count. Okay, we'll run this file with debug mode. This is node.js. We are building this file. We'll add debugger here. Something went wrong. We'll run again, start debugging. Okay, counter 1 has count 0, decrement has one value, increment also has one value, but it's not going as expected. What is the issue? Let's figure it out. What is the issue? Okay, you can see here variables while debugging. There is a one export and counter is not updating. Okay, got it. So because we are passing this as arrow function, and because of this reference, it's giving us problem. We need to we can bind this, but it will not allowed, because this we cannot bind this to the arrow functions. So I am converting this to the normal functions. Okay, function, this is also function. Okay, now also it will not work because we need to bind this objects, this to bind this. Hopefully it will work now. Finger goes, run as a debugger. Okay, now counter 1 has values, increment. Yeah, count 1, it's incremented. Okay, if you want to build another counter 2, let's say build counter, invoke this, and then we'll copy this code and paste it here, replace counter 1 to 2, and Okay, let's run as a debug mode. Counter 1, counter 2. Here you can see counter 1 values. Yeah, count is incremented. Let's say counter 2. Counter 2 values also you can see here. Counter 1, 2. Counter 2, count 2. Means it's working. So this is higher order function. We are building the counter with higher order functions. Okay, so what we can do, so this will sits in another file. Let's say this is one higher.js where we export this. We'll pass this for, let's say this is mouse counter for use mouse counter, and another is will build some click counter somewhere. We'll pass this count function to the higher order function and we'll consume that. Okay, same thing we want to achieve in React with higher order functional components. Okay, so I have created one create React app for us. This is my first YouTube journey. Please support. Okay, I didn't do anything here till now, so it's the same what we get once we created the app using create React app npm. Okay, I'll go to the app.js. This is app.js, I think. Yeah. Okay, I'll remove this. I'll learning with Vishal. For now, we'll test this. npm run start. This will oh, what happened in package.json? Oh, sorry, cd. Okay, now it will start. Second, settling up. Yeah. Okay. This was a older one. We'll implement same one. Okay. Learning with Vishal. Okay. Let's create two components. Let's create a folder inside src folder. Component. Yo. Let's create a click component. Click.js. Let's one create a mouse.js. Okay. RFCE. Create a functional component for us. Okay. And same RFCE. Okay. This is mouse normal component. We'll create a another file which will create higher order component .js. Okay, this will be the function for us. Okay, let's create a function because higher, because this will be the returning a component which takes a component. Okay, higher, let's say name is higher only, higher component which takes to be sorry wrapped component. This will return a component because it takes a component, returns a component. That's why it's higher order components. So that's why we say the higher order component, same as a function, higher order functions. Correct. So let's return a functional component. Same way how we write functional component, we'll write this. Okay. Where we take the props and return a JSX. Correct. Same what we did, and we return a same component. Okay, now what we need, we were passing count increment function and decrement function to this, right? Uh, to this, what do we say? Mm, Initially, let's go to the this file. Okay, this was the counter function, main count function, and we were creating a object with passing these values from higher order component. We'll do the same, exactly same, nothing. Let's create a count, increment and decrement functions. For this, we need a first we need to import React. We'll copy that. I'm copying this React. Now import. We need a use state because for count updation we need to render use state. Okay, this is your state. Let's create return this function. Okay, that's fine. Let's create a count variable which will returns as a count and set count use state. Initial value will be 0, right? And we'll create a const. Let's do this let because it will throw error while updating. uh, let's const increment function. This will be the arrow function which will call set count method with count, right? Now decrement function, this will be the minus minus. We'll pass these as a props, right? Let's say count equals to count, inc equals to equals to inc, decrement equals to decrement. Okay, good to go. And these three will be received as a props. We are not using these props. I'm removing this. These three will be as a props will get here, right? Because we are going to pass. Let's import first that function. I'll add higher. So what is name? Higher order, right? It's not giving. Will not export that, I think. Let's export this first. Right, good. Now higher order component, right? This we get here. We will pass our component to the right. Same we will do for click component. And we'll copy this. This will be get as props. We'll get this as a props. Okay, now we'll get this as inside the props, right? Because we pass this component to the higher order function, higher order component. Sorry. So this will be our click or mouse component where we are passing these props. Okay, then we'll get these in here. Okay, let's return JSX what we need. Okay, let's create a button. Let's create a button first. Button. We need two buttons and one span will show the our counter value. Prop start. Okay, now on click event on click equals to props.inc. Same on click props dot, sorry, props dot decrement. Let's write here increment. Let's write here decrement. Okay, same we will copy inside click. Okay, I think we're good. Let's try this. Let's import these two in click component. Mouse component. Oh, sorry, we are not changed that. What is the error? Mouse expected assignment or function instead of so expression mouse 3 1, mouse 3 1. Okay, this is okay. Here we need to change on mouse over. On mouse over, where is on mouse over? MOUSE on mouse over. Let's copy this, paste it here. I think we are good, no errors. Let's go to this. We'll use inside learning. Let's add this to an h1 tag. Okay, let's add click. Let's add mouse. Hope we are good. Let's go to the Chrome. Yeah, yo, yo. On over, it's incrementing. On over, it's decrementing correctly. On click, it's incrementing. On click of decrementing, it's working fine. Okay, hope you understand. Let's go through the all things what we did. Okay, first we'll go through from the we can compare the code of higher order component and higher order functions. What we did, we combine these three logics in one separate file, and we pass these as a props here, we can say. And same thing we did in, let's say we combine these common logic inside of a function. In the React, we combine this logic in a component, but function as a component. We use useState methods and pass these three as a arguments, right? Here, here, and here we pass these as a props. We use these props and create our components. So we reuse the code of increment, decrement, and the count updation, increment and decrement with different events, like one for the mouse and one for the let's say click. Okay, right? We can create any higher order components now. Okay, thanks for the watching this video. Hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe. This is my first video. I'll share my these code on GitHub in the links comments. Okay, thank you.